Right, that's us. Welcome everyone to International Mind Body Wellness Day, a talk that we have lined up for you with the absolutely wonderful Vijaya Gowrisankar. Vijaya, thank you for being with me here today. I'm really looking forward to this 30 minutes we've got together to have a little bit of a chat about mind body wellness.
Yeah, thank you for this opportunity, and it's a very, very interesting and important topic to speak on. So thank you.
No, thank you for volunteering your time. So we'll just give it a minute. We'll let the StreamYard hit the platforms, the social media. But I'm looking forward to today's session. If you are tuned in or if you're watching the replay, please say hi. Let us know your thoughts. Let's use the wisdom in the room on mind body wellness so we can have this session together. And Vijaya, I don't know if you know much. I was doing a lot of research on international days, and today, obviously, the biggest one is International Mind Body Wellness, but it's also International Cherry Dipping in Chocolate Day and International J.R.R. Tolkien Day as well. So, for Lord of the Rings fans, if they're not tuned in, they're probably watching the Lord of the Rings trilogy or The Hobbit. But just a little bit of advice for things, a little bit you can do off the back of this guided meditation that we have at the end. Go get yourself some cherries and chocolate and enjoy a Lord of the Rings movie.
Wonderful, yeah.
Hey there, it's wonderful to see you tuned in. Thank you for being here. Excellent. Do you know any more international days coming up?
No idea. We'll have to check it out.
I've become a little bit of a geek to check and research all this sort of stuff. And anything that I feel is relevant that we can tie coaching to, we'll be delivering this year. International Mind Body Wellness being one of them. So we'll make a start, which I will get into today's content. I appreciate we've only got 30 minutes together. But just so we can kick off, we're talking about mind body wellness. What do we mean? The benefit, maybe this is new to some people in the audience, those watching the replay. What do we mean by mind body wellness?
Yeah, mind-body wellness, as the phrase itself says, right? It's the integrated health of the mental, emotional, as well as the physical systems. They are not really isolated. They're all integrated, and they're always influencing each other. So I think that understanding is the essence of this, whether it's our thoughts, emotions, and our at least physical states. And rather than treating both the mind and body as separate, how can we look at it as one unit, understand, become aware, and hence regulate and align the two of them?
Yeah, no, thank you for sharing that, Vijay. So it's about connecting our mind and our body. How do we align the two together? Almost in a nutshell, how I like to see it as well is how do we bring ourselves to the present moment? I feel like we can't connect mind and body together unless we're actually present and aware and in the moment together. So no, thank you for sharing that. And if you're tuned in, I would love to know your definition of mind-body wellness. We've got a lot of coaches that are tuning in today. How do you explain this to your clients when you talk about International Mind-Body Wellness Day? We're going to talk more about how mind-body wellness has a place in coaching in just a moment. But how are you currently introducing it into your coaching practice? And Vijaya, just off the back of that, I would love to know what kind of mind-body wellness exercises or activities do you tend to get up to on a daily basis before we get into the coaching side of things?
Yeah, I think to each one his own. There are a lot of it over time, and they've all become quite popular. With the social media being available and a lot of the information being available more, right? It starts from sounds to movement to yoga and journaling, gratitude, creative expressions, grounding exercises, breathing. I think the variety has really expanded. What could have been or may have been regional has now become international, which is really wonderful. And some of the things that I do is definitely yoga. I can improve there, but started yoga recently. And what we both, I think, practice is at least meditation, because we both have found a lot of grounding patterns and advantages to really at least meditating. And some of the other things are definitely breath awareness. So whenever I'm stressed and tensed, I often tend to see my breathing is a lot more faster. And because now I'm self aware, I try to slow down the breathing, change my body posture, movement, just stand up, move a little, or stretch a little, or just relax my muscles so that the tension that is accumulated in the body releases a little. And that's all due to this awareness. And definitely, I start my day and end my day with gratitude. That is, an essential part of my daily routine. And where Vijaya is, writing can't be far away. So definitely, writing poetry, reading. These are two things that are synonymous with me. They are just an extension of who I am. And yeah, these are some of the things that I have tried to inculcate in my life or include in my life. And one of the other things that I really feel grounds me is drinking water. It may be a little different, but whenever I drink water, it sort of grounds me, it calms me, it brings me back to the present moment, because I can't be distracted when I'm drinking water. So I think that is something that I have really taken on. But there are a lot of other things that are really out available out there, from sounds to instrument sounds and all of that, that is yet to be explored. So this is what I would like to share.
No, wonderful. No, thank you for that, Vijay. I'm going to come back to a few of those points that you mentioned because we've got a lot of people tuned in now. So if you are tuning in, we are celebrating International Mind Body Wellness Day, and we're just talking about what we do in terms of mindful activities or wellness activities to connect our mind and our body and bring ourselves to the present. So, Toka, it's great to see you here. Thank you for tuning in. Adele is saying we need to look after our mind and body and create balance. Alignment is important. It is definitely important. Thank you for that. Brighton Helms is saying water. Excellent. Thank you for being here, Brighton. Adele is saying I create silence by doing different activities. Reading is key for me. And we've seen a lot of your poems, which I've seen a lot of your writing. I know you've published books, which is fantastic. So I can see that you really invest in your writing and your gratitude, which is really wonderful. Yoga, how's yoga coming on for you? You said you're quite new to it.
Yeah, I think we used to do a lot in school, but yeah, I just started it again. I wouldn't say I'm perfectly there, but yeah, I'm slowly getting there. That's been on my list for a while now. Just started a little recently, on and off, but trying to at least get there. But two important things, when you were, talking, I just remembered, which I have not shared. One is walking. So
Yes.
I really love walking, and that's completely a part of me, and that really grounds me. And the second one of late I have understood is, uh, you know, um, dressing up well is also one thing. When we are talking, a lot of it is also about the mind, but also in terms of the body. How do you take care, or how do you dress well? How do you show up? The identity, who you are in terms of dressing. I think that's also played an important part in the last few years in my life.
Yeah, no, it's important. No, energy. There's energy in clothes. There's energy in our environment, and there's energy around us. How do we create that energy in that space for us to be able to connect our mind and body? And I think what you said there, walking is one of the most easiest ways we can connect mind and body. We can bring ourselves to the present moment. Mindfulness and mind body wellness doesn't always have to be spiritual. It's anything that brings us in the present moment, anything that connects our mind and body together. One of the biggest things, I unfortunately haven't picked it up in years. I teach a little bit of it while I'm in Colombia, but one of the biggest things that connected my mind and body, which was great for my wellness, was Wing Chun, which is a form of Kung Fu. I used to do that 4 or 5 times a week. I was so into it. There was a blend of Qigong and Tai Chi in there, along with a lot of other exercises, but I was really grounded. I was connecting my mind and my body. Because I understand that, a lot of us want to do meditation, a lot of us do different forms of meditation, but some of us really think that meditation is just about sitting on a pillow, trying to do absolutely nothing, which is difficult, especially when everything's so busy, so much information, just everything the way life is right now. It can be really difficult to sit still. But there's other ways in which we can connect our mind and our body. And we're going to do a guided meditation at the end of the session with Vijaya. So if you're tuned in, stay tuned for a guided meditation at the end of this session. So I'm just going to bring in some more comments, Vijaya, if that's okay. So we've got Jane saying, hello, Paul, Vijaya. Jane, it's wonderful to see you here. Thank you so much for tuning in. Adele saying, in coaching, I help clients identify what pull and drain their energy and how to then create balance and get rid of energy drainers. Now, I think that's a really good point to go on to our next question, Vijaya, which is around, we've talked about mind-body wellness. We've explained what it is, some of the activities that we can do for ourselves, both as individuals and as coaches. But my next question is, what place does mind-body wellness have within coaching?
I think it's a very, very important part of coaching. Uh, if the client is open to it, how do we introduce? One thing to remember is at least coaching is always for the client and is led by the client. So if they are open to mind, body, wellness, whatever the form may be, so trying to understand their interests, their form in the past, how they've been able to ground themselves, bring them back into the present moment, release whatever is the tension, or whatever it takes for them to, I would say, go into the space that they are comfortable in for clarity or for whatever they are seeking, right? I think that is very important in terms of coaching. And I have been both a client as well as a coach. And when we wear the different hats, when I was a client, I've seen my coach introduce these things to me with my consent, and if I was open to it. And when I was a coach, I've asked if my clients are open to it as well. It could be multiple things, right? It could be just in terms of meditation, or just being open to using tools to understand their value system or the emotions that they are feeling. It could also be to uh, really understand maybe journaling, gratitude, creative exploration. It depends completely on the situation, and the client. And sometimes it has been as simple as visualization, affirmations, and gentle movement. So it completely depends on the situation, but I have seen that it has played an important part in coaching. And it has a lot of benefits, actually, from emotion regulation to understanding, opening up self-awareness areas, understanding the challenge, and it sort of unblocks or opens up or calms the client to be able to find their own path, um, become more intuitive. And in terms of the practices, definitely, how can we be sometimes completely be present through our questions, through silence? So there are a lot of techniques, tools available, and it completely depends on the situation. And it's, I would say, client led.
Excellent, Vijay. And you've touched upon some really key points there. I like how you've taken that, first of all, that ethical approach. That anything that we introduce into our coaching, our sessions need to be client-led. It needs to be offered to the client. We can't be forcing clients to do a yoga. We cannot be forcing clients into doing meditations in our session. We have to offer these tools. So mindfulness, mind-body wellness can be offered as tools in our coaching practice, as you mentioned, Vijaya. But it needs to be agreed upon. The client needs to agree to it. It needs to be of benefit for them. It cannot be just for the sake of, we want to introduce this to our client, we want to use this tool in our sessions. And equally, it cannot take over the session as well. If we offer it to do a little bit of yoga in our coaching session or meditation, we take the full hour, then that's not a coaching session. We've hijacked the whole session. We've used it as a yoga session or a mindfulness session. It's not coaching. So I really like that ethical point that you mentioned. And there's two ways, as you said as well, Vijay, that we can introduce mind, body wellness in there. There's the direct way, which is what we just talked about in terms of offering it as tools. But there's the indirect way, which you were talking about in terms of our silence, the little parts of visualization off the back of other tools that we can introduce into our coaching. So, for example, at Coaching Minds, one of the models that we teach and we go quite deep on is the future pacing model, where we put the client in the future vision of what they want to achieve, living what it is they want to achieve for 2026, 2027, the next 5 years, wherever that point is, and then offering a visualization meditation, visualization exercise for them to feel and live in that moment, before then practically working back to the present day So they've got a plan to get to where they want to be. And one thing I kind of came into my mind when you were sharing there, Vijay, especially about the silence piece. And, I really think mindfulness and mind-body wellness is a big part of presence. And we talk a lot about this in Coaching Presence. I write about this actually in my Coaching Presence book as well. But it's not just for the benefit of the client. Using this space for mind-body wellness is also beneficial for us as a coach, to use those moments of silence to ground ourselves. We talk about mind chatter as well. How do we start to introduce these little mind-body wellness tools into our coaching session for our own benefit to remove that mind chatter? And if you ever experienced anything, if you ever used anything in your coaching practice, if you're tuned in, you're a coach, I'd love to know how you're using mindful exercises, mind-body wellness in your coaching. But Vijaya, have you ever experienced the mind chatter? Have you ever used anything to bring yourself presently into your coaching practice?
Yeah, over time, one of the good things that I learned in our level 5 program is the reflection exercises. It's not just about recording our sessions, but it's also about reflecting on the work that we've done as a coach and how we can improve. And in the past, I have seen that at times I used to rush into my next question or my thought, what was there. And over time, through the reflection, I realized that it was what you say as mind chatter. You are so eager to get or help your client that, you are just a little impatient, or maybe you can come across as a little impatient, or just rushing into the next question. So that reflection exercise has allowed me to slow pause, reflect. If the client is saying something and I have my next question, I have to pull back myself and say, let me listen to the client, rather than thinking on the next question that I can ask, or just look at a point. And one of the things that's helped me is also writing. So when I write, when my client is speaking, or anywhere when I write, it keeps me in the present moment. I don't know how, if anyone has tried it, but writing is a very big part of my life. So it keeps me completely in the present moment. It doesn't allow me to wander into the next question or the next possibility. And because I've written down, before I ask the next question, I also look at that summarized points, and then I'm able to think, what is the next question, or what is it that the client wants, and try to be uh, effective there as a coach. So I think these are some of the techniques that I use.
Excellent. Now that journaling, that writing can really help as well. It's a way of expressing ourselves and letting go. As you mentioned earlier when we talked about the tensions in the body, sometimes it's just letting go of those emotions in the mind, and helping us express ourselves with our writing. So thank you so much for
No.
that.
So what I meant was, I write what my client is telling.
Okay, sorry. Okay.
Yeah. So I write what my client is telling. So I'm completely present in the, I'm in the present moment. So if you're saying something, I'm writing that down, and, I'm
You're
looking at that
focusing.
before
Yeah,
I ask the next question, rather than allowing my mind to wander. So whenever
yes,
I'm taking notes is a better way of putting it, instead of
yeah.
saying right. Yeah. Whenever I'm taking notes, I think I'm more grounded. I'm in the present, and uh, that's helped me from stopping my,
Yeah. So
mind to wander.
you're using the notes as an anchor in your coaching session to remain present. And that's
Yes.
why I thought you were talking about reflection afterwards. We do a lot of reflective journaling as coaches. But no, that's a really great way to anchor
Both.
yourself to be present, which is wonderful. I'm going to bring in some of the comments. We've got lots of people tuned in. So Adele is saying, guiding the client to understanding of what mind-body wellness means to them. Yep, we need to find out what their definition is. How does our client define mind-body wellness, and what works for them? John is saying, yes, he uses mindfulness in coaching. He's mentioned the 4-step breathing. I'd love to know more about that, John. What is the 4-step breathing? I've not heard of that myself. We've got a few people observing that I'm on a green screen. Yep, this is my beautiful green screen office behind me. Thank you for your observations. Fantastic. Jane is saying, very true. Introducing to the client and explain the benefit is very important. What makes sense to me as a coach might not be relevant to them. Very ethical approach there, Jane. Anything you want to say back to any of these, Vijay, as well, please do jump in and share your thoughts. But I really like what Jane is sharing there. She's keeping it, and the session led and the client led by the client. John is saying, I learned to take time through speaking to myself under my breath as I breathe. That's a really good tip and technique there, John. Thank you for sharing that. And we've got another poet, Vijaya. So he's saying the truth is he's a poet.
Wonderful.
Excellent. And then John is also saying, have you ever woke up not knowing your own self, such as a hot head that your brain can melt? Yet there's different ways in which we can wake up, different ways in which we can show up, and it's about finding ourselves to that present moment. But it's great to have another poet in the room. He's saying that poetry helps him a lot. So wonderful. Vijaya is a published poet as well. So it's wonderful to have you on board and connected. Thank you for being tuned in. And then Jane is also saying writing helps me too. As much as we have AI, I still prefer taking notes during a coaching session. Now, wonderful. Have you using AI at all, Vijaya, in your coaching to take notes?
Yeah, I mean, with consent, if they are okay. So I record, and when I'm writing my notes or whatever is the summarized, if there are certain points I may have missed, then I definitely use AI as a AI notes, generated notes, just to ensure that nothing is really missed out. But it's not really replacing. And if it's the same point, it's already typed, then it's of course easier to use it. Why not?
Excellent. I'm a big user of AI notes, obviously with the client's consent, because I find I'm on the opposite side of what you were sharing earlier on. When I take notes, it distracts me. I lose my focus. I lose my attention. And I think it's different ways in which we learn. Because the other thing we haven't really mentioned, we haven't got time to go into in detail, but actually understanding our VAC, different ways in which we like to take information. Are we visual? Are we auditory? Are we kinesthetic? This is all part of mind body wellness as well. Understanding that ours and also our clients can really support. So taking notes really distracts me and pulls me away from the moment. So I'm a big avid user of AI with the client's consent. But my final question for you today, Vijay, before we get into your guided meditation that you've planned to close our wonderful session here on mind body wellness, is what are the benefits of bringing mindfulness? We've talked about a few of them already, but bringing mind body wellness into our coaching practice, both for the coach and the client.
Yeah, as I have asked my clients wherever I've used mind body wellness techniques, and I've tried to reflect as a coach myself, and vice versa when I was a client. So I think it's more of increased self awareness. You are able to feel your mind body connection. It reduces the stress. You're able to ground yourself, calm a little, rather than being very emotionally uh, you know um, I would say, led by the emotions. Uh, and if we are in a very high emotional state, it helps to calm, it helps to bring back. It brings in a different level of perspective, a sort of third level perspective, I would say, where you're detached, where maybe whatever is happening to someone, and you're looking at it from another perspective. So I think it helps in those techniques, and in those areas. It increases the focus, clarity, and in terms of the decision making, it's not emotion led, it's not impulse led. I would say it's not the first thing that comes to our mind. It's rather, it helps to calm, bring in pros, cons of anything that the client is suggesting. If we are asking them for pros, cons, what do they think about it, how will it impact them later, say 6 months down the line. I think they are able to give better responses for that. And over time, when practiced, or some of them, they take back these tools into their daily lives. It's not just about the 1 hour session. So they take it back, and it helps to build resilience, optimism, and they are sort of self sufficient now. It's like they have a tool or a mechanism or a way that can help them at any point in time. And definitely a lot of these things do encourage creativity, flexible thinking. So there are a lot of things that they really help with. And these are some of the inputs that I've received or I've reflected on, from my clients, or as a coach, or as a client.
Oh, wonderful, Vijaya. Again, a beautiful ethical point you made there about them taking this away for their own resilience, for their own growth. Because one of our roles as a coach is not to make our clients dependent on us, it's to make them independent. We want to equip them with tools that they can take away and do on their own time in their own space and environment. And I think it's really important when we look at mind body wellness in coaching, and you kind of highlighted this in what you just shared there, is this different stages in the coaching journey that it can help us. For example, I really love mindfulness activities before I step into a coaching session. I have to be ready 10, 15 minutes before. I have to ground myself so I can be and show up fully present with my clients. We need those little tools and techniques that we shared earlier on to kind of get rid of that mind chatter when we're in the coaching session so we can remain present. And just doing an exercise with our client, we don't know where our clients come from, what kind of day they've had, how busy they are. Just taking a few moments just to do a short breathing exercise or a short grounded meditation can really help the flow of that session. So there's huge benefits for the coaching session in itself. And then, as you mentioned, there's the after, the reflection, the tools they can take away, the exercises, the habits they can adopt and build that we can support them with. So there's so many benefits of bringing mind body wellness into our coaching practice, as long as we do it in an ethical way, which we've already discussed today. Now, Vijaya, I appreciate we're coming to time. There's no other comments in the comments box right now. We've got Donna saying, do you share your AI notes with your clients? Always. So one of the ethical approaches, if you are using AI notes, not to get off topic here, but you want to get consent and let them know that you want to use AI, get their consent first, and afterwards you want to share a full copy. And also you want to check the AI notes. So it's not a case of just here you go, copy and paste. There is sometimes data inaccuracies and written inaccuracies on your notes, so check them beforehand. But bringing it back to the topic, Vijaya, is there any last words that you'd like to leave our audience before we go into your kind and generous guided meditation for the final part of today's session?
No, I would love to know, from them how they are using it, and if anything that we discussed today was at all beneficial. Yeah, I would love to hear from them. It's always learning, and learning is always, at least multi ways.
It is indeed. We're using the wisdom from There's lots of tips and suggestions from the audience already. So I want to say a huge thank you to everybody who has tuned in already, who's sharing their thoughts, sharing their opinions and perspective on mind body wellness. Happy International Mind Body Wellness to everybody who's watching on the replay as well. Please do put them in the comments box if you do have any questions or any thoughts. And now we're going to, so please don't go anywhere, because we're going to go into a nice guided meditation with Vijaya to close today. And Vijaya, I also want to say a huge thank you to you for being here with me today. The energy's been fantastic in these past 30 minutes. So as always, thank you very much. And I'm looking forward to grounding myself now with you in the next few minutes. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you.
Thanks.
Let's take the next few minutes to pause and be fully present in the moment. I invite you to find a comfortable position. You can uncross your legs, place your feet flat on the floor to feel grounded. Rest your hands gently on your lap. If you feel comfortable doing so, gently close your eyes. If not, simply soften your gaze and look at a spot, letting everything in your peripheral vision blur. Take a moment to be present in this beautiful present moment. Let's begin with 3 deep cleansing breaths. Inhale deeply through your nose for a count of 3. Hold it for 3 seconds. And exhale slowly through your mouth with a soft sigh. Inhale deeply for 3 seconds. Hold it for 3 seconds. And exhale fully. One more time. Inhale deeply for 3 seconds. Hold it for 3 seconds. And exhale. Let your breath return to its natural rhythm. Don't force it or change it. Let your body breathe in its natural rhythm. As you continue to breathe naturally, scan your body for any pockets of tension. Your jaw, your shoulders, your back, your hands, your legs, your feet. Release the tension from every portion of your body. Loosen the body part and release the tension. Ease the muscles of that area and release the tension. Slowly bring your attention back to your breathing. Let us be grateful that we are breathing today, that we are blessed with life, for life and breath itself is a blessing. Notice the gentle rise and fall of your chest. You may find that your mind wanders. That's perfectly normal. Your mind may be thinking about the next action item, a conversation, a worry, a to-do list. Gently guide your mind back to your breath. Your breath is your anchor in the present moment. Take a moment to appreciate the stillness that you've created for yourself. You can return to this anchor anytime you need during your day. Slowly begin to bring your awareness back to your room. Feel the weight of your body on the chair. Feel your feet on the floor. Wiggle your fingers and toes gently. And when you're ready, go ahead and open your eyes. Thank you for joining me today in this guided meditation.